What was I doing? Mercer safe house? Set up Mila. Okay. Go to Detra. Okay. And Piper is with us. Right. Pipstermeister. Cabin house. Let's go to Detra. Double meat on the slain animals. What would be the point, really? Really miss the survival mode. Bullshit.
Hey, there you are. It had to come to that.
Yeah, this is the colony we've already cleared up once. And everything's respawned. Sort of diminishes the value of scavenging though. I mean, scavenging perks. I mean, what's the point if you're going to be getting infinite supplies anyway? To, well, I suppose it's the convenience. And the dead drop is right here, so we would have had to come here anyway.
Augusta is still dark. Location enclosed. Exercise extreme caution.
Didn't exactly require a holotape, did it? Determine status of Augusta safe. They prevent your peaks from breaking. Again, could be very useful if there was a situation that really required lockpicking. Like you would be stripped of all your equipment and you'd have to make do with one or two. I see a lot of these systems as more of a legacy thing than actual working mechanisms or balance mechanisms at this point. No, I think that's probably because that's exactly what they are. Hacking and lockpicking. Lockpicking doesn't have anything really wrong with it mechanically. It's just that it's so easy, and you have a huge abundance of lockpicks. So why the pretending perk-wise and other skill-wise that it's somehow hard and challenging. It's nothing even remotely like that. Hacking, on the other hand, is just slow, and I've never heard anyone say that they like the hacking. It's just it's just something you sort of live with. And I don't know why there hasn't been a real effort to try to improve on that. Hacking especially. Something to make it a little bit faster. Or a little bit different. I suppose it's one of those things.
Well, if anyone could figure out a good use for it.
I mean, you choose your battles. You have a sort of working mechanism already. Are you gonna devote resources and time to redoing the mechanism, or are you going to try to use your time to do something new? So it's one of those things that I'd like to see improved, but it's at least for me it's real hard to really bitch about it because I do like the work that they did put into the game. The areas they improved, I like them. They did they did a good fun job. Okay, a little bit of a loading break there for some reason. Up 95. Symmetry. In broad daylight, we should just use the assault rifle. No, this combat rifle, something like that. Assault rifle is a bit different. Feral ghouls. Not exactly a huge surprise there. Seem to be able to access that building, but it's not marked on the map.
Nah, they never just want to talk. Unexpected.
Okay, we're in danger, but from what? Ooh, there we are. What exactly am I seeing?
Sanctuary. Oh,
Hindle Hospital. This should be the safe place. I guess they were overrun with ghouls. Are using Molotov cocktails? Yes. That is good.
That's in better shape than I expected.
Requires terminal access. Well, someone set up bombs here. Later. Huts.
There we go.
Oh, whoop-de-doo. Plus we can see someone's ass, so we can shoot it, but I think it's just gonna hit barrier. That it? Just raiders? I did hear a turret. Piper, don't start anything.
What? Where did it
Yeah, I was totally unnoticed, and Piper caused the fuss.
Pitiful.
Why don't you just... Luna, you better be worth it! Disappearing act, huh?
They're definitely the wrong playstyle to choose if you want companions. It's not like it's
Oh,
a
they're
huge
fucking
shock to me
coward
or
hides.
anything. Just perfectly expected, but at the same time I'm disappointed that it's still a
No sign
problem.
of him now.
I'd like to at least see if the character I'm going to go with has the potential to be stealthy. Here we don't have the skills, but surely they're not all equally worthless. I can understand the power guy, armor guy not being able to be too stealthy.
Powering up. Protectron on duty.
What the fuck was that? You're mine now,
Clear.
You're tough. Last mistake.
Law and order. Commencing attack on hostile target. Warning.
Just you
Hostiles
or me.
in area. Situation normal. Law and order has been restored.
Just going to waste otherwise.
No, we don't want it to go to waste. I'm just sighing because I don't get to experience proper stealth gameplay as long as I'm with you guys. An elevatrix. Graduated cylinder. I'm not quite sure what graduated means on a cylinder. Not like it went to school, is it? Okay, since attack killed all the railroad guys, raiders came afterwards to loot. That
This
seems to be the
station
gist of
appears
things.
to need a coroner.
Maybe I should go for the robotics expert. Man, as long as I have a sidekick, it's just a waste of effort. I'm going to have that sidekick. So they're preparing to set up base here. The only interesting location would be the elevator. If I could destroy him, would provide decent loot, I think. Book return terminal. Are these all worthless? I think there's probably a terminal somewhere that has abnormal rewards, because looking at the current ones, they're totally worthless. That's not necessarily the case. I mean, the items we can trade in would be useful for crafting purposes. Well, when I say useful, I mean there would be some use, not exactly that they would be good at it or provide something valuable.
Going up. Sixth floor.
So this is good. Hyper's not here. Might have a chance to do something. That's unlikely to be connected in any kind of terminal. We know there are more enemies here. Not sure how much should I start looting before we've secured the area at least a little bit better. Anything even remotely valuable is gone. Looks like a lot of trouble behind this door.
Spread out! Find him!
Think you can hide?
No need to hide. It'll all be over soon.
Can't see me.
Oh, I know you're here. I'll find you. Ah! Something's broken! Ah! Scared, huh? You should be.
Yeah, my stealth abilities are quite substantial at this point.
Only a fucking coward hides.
I mean, they're pretty oblivious to my presence. The amount of sneak attacks you can do with a weapon like this is ridiculous.
Show your face. Come on. You better run.
Well, they know I'm here, but they don't quite know where I am. Yeah. Pistol explosive approach is it's quite nice. Straight up fight rifles are far superior. But especially if we would ditch the companion, this would be very enjoyable. Because you can't just snipe everything, you have to just go into the thick of it. This probably won't work in a lot of environments or against a lot of enemies, but that's why you have the grenades and the mines, so it's not like you're lacking tools, just you have to handle things a little bit differently depending on the opponent. And that's perfectly reasonable. I'm a little bit afraid that the Ghost Rifle is one of those weapons that allows us to not really give a shit about almost anything. I mean, rifles tend to be quite accurate in general. The power it has, especially once charged up, is pretty ridiculous, at least compared to everything else we have at the moment. I mean, if grenades are more powerful, but you sort of give yourself away when you use one. If we can stealth the Ghost Rifle, yeah.
Sweet. Can't keep you out.
Well, it's a suppressor, not necessarily a stealth. This seems to be a proper stealth pistol. Doesn't really produce much of a noise when fired. A lot of weapons you can get that one shot. This you can just slam sneak attacks. So combine this with something like the Ninja and Sandman, and it's a ridiculously dangerous weapon. At the same time, the Ghost Rifle can be combined with them too, so it's not like it's one or the other. And even though we can't take full advantage of the stealth because of companions, it's not like it's not an advantage. We can still... Usually we are not noticed first. Everyone's focusing on her. We can do our own thing. Augusta Station last update.
We are under attack. Repeat, we are under... My God. Listen, Augusta's not gonna make it. They're gonna be here any second. They knew exactly where we were. Tell...
Either one of the escaped ones is a traitor. Very likely one of the members is a traitor. Seems like a fitting plotline for an organization like this. That's just going to happen. You're gonna get betrayed. That's the nature of the job. Before you find out what's really going on, it's gonna be a lot of mistrust flying around. Missile launcher, holy shit. This is a good thing that I happened to snipe this one first. I think there's still a turret here or something like that, but for the most part we're definitely done. Short assault rifle. Drugs. I don't think there's much point staying stealthy anymore. The job's done, the major fighting is done. Exterminator's laser musket. That's not useful at all. 50% more damage against mirelurks and bugs. Still, we can sell it away.
Shoot.
Here.
Uh-huh.
Hold.
Okay. I'll be here then. What can I do?
Let's go.
Yep.
Hey, this is gonna be fun!
Was it fun for you? Yeah, that's where the turret is. It's gonna be Mark 3
Got it.
turret at best. Probably Mark 1. That's shitty. Okay, let's try this.
What?
Reload time.
Nothing there now.
Maybe a second or two. Reload without reload animation by switching a weapon.
Just noise.
So actually reloading is an incredibly stupid thing to do. Much faster just switch weapons. Get a free reload. I'm not gonna use it, but I seems like a silly mechanic to have.
Hey, who's there?
It's a me. It's probably much more useful with certain type of weapons, where the reloading period is very long. It just because one of the balancing factors for certain type of magazines is that they're very slow to reload, and that sort of throws it all out. Did they just not realize that it does that, or what? They think no one would do it. No one would try it out. I suppose it doesn't matter in a way, because these things tend to lead to unwanted side effects when you have a competitive environment, not when you have a single player experience. Um, the single player experience, these type of rules are sort of creating a structure for the game, sort of a framework how it's supposed to work. In a competitive environment, it's basically rules are meant to be tested out, see how they can be used and exploited to the best possible effect. And that it just you can't get away with the same thing in a competitive environment. Even if it's a very well balanced system, it's still gonna cause a lot of people to complain about it. We also have different skill levels, different knowledge levels, different competence levels. It's much easier to blame the game than it is to just say that, yeah, I might suck at this game. At the same time, that's not always the case, and even if it is sort of balanced, it might still be the case there were a lot of less experienced players are going to be flocking to certain options because they're not quite so skill intensive, get to work very well. While some of the more powerful things require a lot of player skill to actually pull off. So trying to get to some kind of point where everyone is more or less happy isn't quite so easy. Especially with things working in certain environments and being more or less balanced can easily be broken once they are started to be exploited in a different environment. I mean, it's often the case where something becomes a problem much later on. Like it could have been in a game for a long, long time. Oh, fuck, is that a death club? Oh yes, yes it is. It's because, let's say, any kind of group environment, having something like a handful of them is not a problem. At the same time, things can start escalating very quickly once you have a dozen, half a dozen, 50, 100. So
If we're gonna dance, let's free for the taking.
I'm sort of surprised we've been able to deal with Death Walls in general without too much problem. I suppose thanks to the sneaking, they've always been thrown at us like they're supposed to become like a surprise, unexpected. You can't prepare. At the same time, we can always just sort of take a step back, look at the situation, decide what we're gonna do, and then do it. Because let's be fair, I'm not going to. My leather armor is not going to allow me to survive any kind of a low close racing encounter with a death blow. That's just not happening. It's injury rate. Okay, looks like we got the interesting stuff here. It's the way to get out, I guess. Or not quite sure where are we going exactly, but there's a huge amount of radiation there. Um, and I think it's too much for simple drugs to handle. That's starting to be a bit unhealthy.
Hey, just
Let me know.
Alternative entrance, maybe. Just wondering what this place is. Why it exists. Other dead things. Just wondering what the fuck killed them. Maybe there's just so many ghouls here. Hey, where am I? Kendall Hospital, alternative. Well, it's an exit. We can possibly use this to enter anything. Well, nice little mission.
Hey you. Randolph Safehouse has been MIA since switchboard, but now we got one of their dead drops tagged. Des wants you to check it out.
Alright. Now be careful with that gun. Real careful.
What?
it took this long to make contact? Sounds suspicious.
Yeah, it smells fishy. But if some of our boys need help, we gotta do what we gotta do, right? Once you take care of the dead drop, report him to Des.
Man, looks tight. So! Terry? Where's Terry?
I hope to God the Institute doesn't find us here. He's not soon.
Back to the drawing board.
Use the back entrance. Too much traffic through the church and we'll burn this hideout. Make sure you're never followed here. It's all our asses if you are.
There's more going on than you know. Trust me.
Good work on Augusta. I'd rather know the hard truth than live in ignorance.
Desdemona.
Excuse me, I'm busy.
Bizarre. Right. Don't do
Up
anything
there,
else.
assume you're being watched. Always. Glad you're with us.
Augusta Safehouse was destroyed by the Institute.
It's as I feared. 3 safe houses gone. Hard to imagine. I have nothing further for you at the moment. I'm sure someone else could use your help. No shortage of fires to be put out.
Set up Mila secure outpost Zimonja. Up dead drop. Right. Right. Not exactly expecting trouble here, but you never know when trouble finds you. In an environment like this, it would be better to use a non-stealth weapon. If someone unexpected comes from this side, we need to be able to warn the others. Don't think shouting is gonna do it. I wonder how good the junk jet really is. I don't really care. It's a for a very different type of playstyle. In fact, this might be more satisfying for a close-range guy anyway. I mean, I'm not really using the bat system for... I just don't particularly care for it. It just ruins the experience. Objectively speaking, there's nothing bad about it. Just very different. And it really requires you to take some perks that take advantage of it. Otherwise, I feel like I'm being cheated quite often. Like a shot you could make yourself is just not gonna land because the bat is a piece of ass. Makes dice rolls instead of properly just shooting. Okay, where's Piper?
Hey,
What you got for me?
What do you got from me? You should really have your own junk container. Proper junk container.
You building a collection or something?
So you could put in there the items you know you might need for crafting later. Something that you don't just want to reduce to resources. Any problems here? Not really. Happiness is going down, but it's 81, so what do you expect? People have enough food, water, and power, so I don't know what they're complaining about. They're happy, they're not really complaining about anything. Artillery. I don't think so. I just don't see myself using these. Again, you'd have to be able to spot the enemy before. I'm somewhat tempted to make one more additional settlement. Somewhere else. Just build a very different type of thing, not an actual settlement even. Just try to build something based on what we've learned. We certainly have options. We would just have to share resources with this, and I think that would be good enough. More of a question, where would you want to put it in? I don't want to put it in Sanctuary either. Maybe in a very different location, different side of the map. Overland Station seems interesting because it's very close to a lot of good places. Somerville, on the other hand, would be close to a lot of dangerous places, so you could probably bombard them with the artillery. Warwick Homestead. I'm actually a bit interested in this. I mean, it's in a very odd location. I'd actually prefer something that's right smack in the middle of things. I'd like to try out that sort of a defensive setup, so it doesn't really matter. It can be just no, basically create your own defensive spot. My biggest or a question mark on that would be how the NPCs are going to react to very odd constructs. They might not be able to handle it all that well. Could scrap things.
Handy, aren't ya?
And there's legs poking through the floor. I don't think we need to do anything else. Don't think I want to do anything else. We're going to go after another mission directly.